seen again.
By a Kylie Jenner makeup look she posted a few months back. She paired a peachy eye with her new Dirty Peach liquid lipstick shade. I'll insert the picture right over here. Even though it's fall right now, I feel like this is still acceptable. I don't know, maybe I'm just super obsessed with the look, but I thought I would give it a go and show you guys how to achieve the look. This look is super easy. I only used 2 shades to achieve this look. I used the Master Palette by Mario and the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. However, you really don't need to use 2 shades. You could just use 1. It's a super simple look, and if you follow these steps, then you can achieve this Kylie Jenner inspired peach look. If you're interested in seeing how I achieve this look, then just continue on watching. To prime my lids, I'm going to go in with the Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Shadow Primer. I've been using this primer for a few months now, and I really have seen a difference with the vibrancy and the longevity of my eyeshadow, so this is definitely probably one of my new favorites. To set the primer, I'm going to go into the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to go into the shade Leadwin, I believe it's called, right over here. So I just pulled up the picture of Kylie Jenner off of her makeup artist Instagram, Makeup by Ariel, and he said in the makeup description that he only used citrine on the lid, which is from her bronze palette. So I'm going to use a few more shades just to give it a little bit of a different look, and I also don't own the Kylie Jenner bronze palette, so we're going to kind of have to compromise. So I looked through all the different palettes that I have and all the different peachy shades that I own, and there are a few palettes that I could use, but I don't want to use too many palettes because then that just kind of defeats the purpose and makes it hard to achieve this look. So first, I think I'm going to go in with the same Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to go into this peachy shade right over here, and that will be the main transition shade to kind of give that peachy blown out look. I want to start off with a very sheer peach tone so I can slightly build up the color and kind of gauge how many other shades and tones I really need to go into. I'm going to apply this directly in my crease, and then I'm going to wing it out. Kylie's eyeshadow didn't have a lot of definition, but I am going to go in with one more shade to kind of increase the intensity and give it a little bit more of a peachy look. I'm going to go into the Master Palette by Mario and go into the shade Isabel right over here. It's a beautiful terracotta brown is how I would describe it, with a little bit more of an orange undertone. I want to concentrate this shade a little bit more than I did with the transition shade. This is going to go in the very outer corner and be swept into the crease. I'm going to go in with my MAC 217 brush. I'm going to start by lightly patting the shade in my outer corner so that I can kind of control the intensity and where I want the color to go and not have like a huge blob of shadow that won't blend out. Honestly, with any eyeshadow look, you should use a light hand, but especially with this one, just because there's no intense concentrated colors anywhere, it's very blown out. So a harsh hand will kind of defeat the purpose and give a much more harsher look. I'm going to go back in with the peach shade from the Kat Von D palette and just sweep that above the shade from the Mario palette to just further help blend that out and to add a little bit more of a grading effect. I know this is going to seem like a lot of steps for an extremely simple look, but I'm going to go back in one time into the Mario palette, into the Isabel shade, and just add the slightest more definition because I'm being a perfectionist. But this time I'm actually going to go into my Morphe M506 brush. It's a really small definition brush that I can get right into the outer corner. To finish the look, I'm just going to take, once again, the peach shade from the Kat Von D palette and apply that in the area on my lid where I don't have any color. I'm going to stop here with the eyes and go on to my base. Of course, I'm going to prime my face with the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. In the picture, Kylie's skin didn't look overly matte. It basically looked like it was a natural finish. I'm just going to do my normal base makeup. Obviously, Kylie's more tan than I am, so I'm going to go in with a slightly darker shade than I usually would right now. I'm going to go in with the Truematch Lumi by L'Oreal. For concealer, I'm going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. In the picture, it doesn't come off that she has an overly intense contour. It seems like it's kind of on the lighter side. So instead of contouring and bronzing, I'm going to go in with a bronzer that is a little bit more on the cool tone side. And this is, obviously, I use this in almost every single video. My favorite, it is the Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. I'm going to be a little bit more light-handed with this and a little bit more careful where I'm applying it. I'm going to apply it in the areas where I would normally contour, but with a bigger and more fluffier brush instead of a condensed brush. In the picture, even though her bronzer and the slight contour is pretty light, I can see that it has been carved out, I think. So I'm going to go in as I usually do and just bake underneath the bronzer to clean it up and give it a little bit more of a sharper look. Kylie definitely has a peachy blush going on, so I'm going to go into the Tarte Holiday Amazonian Clay Blush Palette, which I have been so obsessed with. These colors are so nice. Prior to this, I had never actually used any of the Tarte blushes, but I have a friend, Alexi, who is obsessed with them, and in general, I just am a fan of Tarte products, so I'm not surprised that I do love these. Usually, I've been going in with these two shades. They are called Mod and Deco, and I've been mixing them. And they give a really gorgeous peach, so I'm going to be doing the exact same thing today. I'm just going to tap this on the outer portion of my cheek and not on the apples of my cheek so that it gives a more carved out and a high cheekbone look. While this is baking underneath my bronzer, I'm going to go in with one shade on my bottom lash line, which is the shade Isabel from the Mario palette. So my camera started to overheat, so off camera I just went in with the Satin White shade in the Kat Von D palette, which is right over here, and applied that on my brow bone and in my inner corner. And in my waterline I went in with the NYX Wonder Pencil. I'm just going to wipe off the baking. Kylie's lashes were really nice and wispy, so I'm going to go in with my Huda Beauty Samantha No. 7 lashes. Prior to that, I'm just going to curl my lashes and go in with the Better Than Sex Too Faced Waterproof Mascara. Before I apply the lashes, just to hide that lash band a little more, I'm going to go in with a very small line across my lash line using the Kat Von D ink liner. This is just a little sample. To take away any of the powdery look, I'm going to go in with some MAC Fix Plus. From the picture, I couldn't really tell if she had a highlight on. Either way, I'm going to go in with one. With the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Gleam, I'm going to mix Starburst and Crushed Pearl. Unfortunately, I don't own Dirty Peach from the Kylie Cosmetics line, but I am going to use a more peachy tone shade. It's called Stockholm from NYX. It's a soft matte lip cream. I'm really pumped about this finished look. I feel like definitely now I'll be doing this look more often. I just never really thought of pairing peach eyes with peach lips, but pretty cool. I'll zoom you guys in so you can get a closer look. If you did like this look, I would love if you could like, subscribe, and comment down below.
We'll be seen again.